This is After the Fire, a series about history after the events. Each season follows the long relationship between two worlds. Empires tend to describe their own endings as disasters. Chronicles speak of collapse, invasion, decline, capitals fall, armies disappear. But for most people, empire does not end in a single moment. It fades, authority loosens, the centre grows quiet, and life continues. Between Iran and India, the end of empire was rarely the end of the world. It was the beginning of something smaller, slower, and closer to the ground. If this speaks to you, stay with us. Like, subscribe, and tell us what you think. Chapter 1. After the court falls silent. When imperial power receded, the first thing to disappear was not violence, but attention. Courts moved on. Administrations dissolved or relocated. The grand rituals that once marked loyalty and hierarchy stopped being performed. For those who had lived close to power, this felt like collapse. For everyone else, it felt like absence. In the Iranian world, after the fall of the Achaemenids, and later after the decline of Sasanian authority, local life reorganized quickly. Landowners remained, villagers continued to farm, trade adjusted rather than stopped. New authorities emerged, often improvised, often temporary. In northern India, the end of Mauryan power followed a similar pattern. Imperial structures weakened, but daily life did not unravel. Regional rulers filled the space. Communities adapted to new arrangements of obligation and protection. Empire had been loud. Its absence was quieter. People learned quickly which rules still mattered and which had evaporated. Survival required attentiveness, not ideology. Chapter 2. The small powers that filled the space. After empire, power did not vanish. It fragmented. Local elites, religious institutions, merchant networks, and military households took on roles once claimed by the state. Authority became personal, negotiated, and often reversible. In Iran, fire temples, landed families, and regional dynasties preserved continuity beneath changing regimes. In India, monasteries, guilds, and courts anchored social life as political authority shifted. These were not dark ages. They were periods of adjustment. People learned to read the signs of the new order. Who could protect a road? Who could guarantee a harvest? Who could mediate disputes? Loyalty became conditional. Allegiance became pragmatic. Around the fire, in homes, courtyards, monasteries, stories replaced proclamations. Memory was preserved not in inscriptions, but in repetition. The empire was remembered less as a system than as a rumour, how things used to be when decisions came from far away. Chapter 3. What remains when power is gone? What endures after empire is rarely what the empire valued most. Monuments decay, titles lose meaning, borders blur. But habits persist, languages survive, rituals adapt, social expectations outlive the states that once enforced them. Between Iran and India, long periods of imperial absence shaped cultures deeply. They produced resilience rather than nostalgia. People learned to live without assuming permanence. This matters because it explains why new empires could rise so quickly. The ground was already prepared. Life had continued. Networks had survived. Empire was never the whole story. After the fire of imperial collapse, what remained was not chaos, but continuity at a human scale. Families, trades, beliefs, and memories carried history forward quietly. And when new power arrived, it found people already waiting, not for rulers, but for stability. After empire, history does not stop. It lowers its voice. Between Iran and India, That quieter history shaped the world just as much as conquest ever did. It reminds us that when power moves on, life does not follow it into ruin. It gathers around the fire and goes on. Stay with us, like, subscribe, and tell us what you think.